Have you ever stopped to think about the football itself? Not the players, not the stadium, not the World Cup, just the ball. Today, it rolls across the world's greatest stadiums, is watched by billions of people, and has helped create some of the most unforgettable moments in sports history. But centuries ago, this same object looked nothing like it does today. The first footballs weren't perfectly round. They didn't bounce the way they do now. Some weren't even made of leather. Believe it or not, people once played with balls made from animal bladders, stitched pieces of fabric, and even strange materials that would seem unbelievable today. So how did a simple object evolve into one of the most advanced pieces of sports equipment ever created? Who invented the modern football? Why does every World Cup introduce a brand new ball? And what incredible technology is now hidden inside today's footballs? This is the incredible story of the football, from its primitive beginnings to the smartest ball ever made. Long before football became the world's most popular sport, people from different civilizations were already kicking objects for fun, competition, and even religious ceremonies. More than 2,000 years ago, soldiers in ancient China played a game called cuju. Instead of scoring on a modern goal, they kicked a leather ball through a small opening suspended above the ground. Many historians consider it the earliest known form of football. Meanwhile, the ancient Greeks and Romans had their own ball games. They were faster, rougher, and often allowed players to use both their hands and feet. Winning was less about skill and more about strength. Across the ocean, civilizations in Central America played ceremonial ball games using heavy rubber balls. These matches were deeply connected to their beliefs and traditions, making the ball far more than just a toy. But no matter where people lived, one problem remained the same. There was no perfect ball. Some were stuffed with feathers or straw. Others were wrapped in cloth or stitched together from animal skin. One of the most common designs even used inflated pig bladders, making every ball different in size, shape, and durability. The game was slowly evolving, but the football itself still had a very long journey ahead. For centuries, football had one major problem. The ball was unpredictable. No two footballs were exactly the same. Some were too heavy. Others were too soft. Many lost their shape after only a few kicks. And when it rained, leather absorbed water, making the ball even heavier. Everything changed in the 19th century. In 1839, an American inventor named Charles Goodyear accidentally discovered a process called vulcanization. By heating natural rubber with sulfur, he created a material that was stronger, more flexible, and far more durable than ever before. A few years later, this invention transformed football forever. Instead of using animal bladders, manufacturers could now produce rubber inner bladders that held their shape in air much longer. For the first time, footballs became more consistent and reliable. As the sport continued to grow, official rules were introduced. The size, weight, and pressure of every match ball were carefully standardized, ensuring that every team played with the same quality of football. The game was no longer depending on luck. It was finally depending on skill. Without realizing it, one scientific discovery had completely changed the future of the world's most popular sport. As football became a global phenomenon, the ball itself became a symbol of every World Cup. Each tournament introduced a new design, but these changes were never just about appearance. Every new ball represented the latest technology of its time. In 1970, the world met the legendary Telstar. With its famous black and white pattern, it wasn't designed only for style. It was created to be easier to see on black and white televisions, allowing millions of fans to follow the game more clearly than ever before. Over the years, footballs became lighter, faster, and more precise. New materials replaced traditional leather, improving performance in every match. Then came one of the most controversial footballs in history. In 2010, the Jabulani was introduced for the FIFA World Cup in South Africa. Players from around the world complained that the ball moved unpredictably through the air. Goalkeepers struggled to judge its flight, while some strikers loved the extra speed and movement. The debate lasted throughout the tournament, proving that even the smallest design changes could influence the world's biggest matches. By 2022, football technology had entered a completely new era. The Al Rihla became the first World Cup ball equipped with an internal motion sensor. Working together with artificial intelligence and advanced tracking systems, it could detect touches with incredible precision, helping referees make faster and more accurate decisions. The football was no longer just part of the game. It had become part of the technology behind the game. Today, a football is far more than a simple ball. Inside its perfectly balanced shell, modern technology can measure speed, detect every touch, and communicate with systems that help referees make critical decisions in just fractions of a second. Yet despite all this innovation, one thing has never changed: the feeling. Whether it's a child kicking a worn-out ball in a dusty street, friends playing in a local park, or the world's greatest players competing in front of millions of fans, the excitement begins the very moment the ball starts to roll. Every goal, every celebration, every unforgettable World Cup moment has started with a single football. It has crossed continents, connected cultures, inspired generations, and become a language understood almost everywhere on Earth. Perhaps that's why a football is much more than leather, rubber, and air. It carries dreams. And somewhere, right now, another child is placing a ball on the ground, ready to begin the next chapter of football's incredible story.